here again. It's time for me to reveal my current 10 favorite fragrances. So, if you're too impatient for me to give you a little bit of an intro, in the description of this video, there'll be timestamps for when the list starts, and you can skip this bit if you want to. But for those of you who are new to the channel and you haven't seen one of my top 10 videos before, I do this twice a year, every 6 months. And really, it's more of an exercise for me to kind of have a look at what my tastes are currently like, how they might have evolved. And I really enjoy doing it. I really enjoy making, essentially what I do is make a short list of all the fragrances that I am wearing regularly in my rotation. And from that short list, essentially when it comes to making the top 10, I basically smell them against each other and basically rank them, and the result is this video. Now, a couple of things to mention. I did something different this time around, and what I've done for this particular video is I've actually also included samples and decants. In the past, I've limited this list to only the bottles that I own. So that is the major change that I've made. So for anyone who's wondering, there will be that will include fragrances that have been discontinued, that are limited edition, and whatever else. So this is not a list to show you and try and promote for you to go out and buy and try. Of course, if you can try some of these fragrances that I'm going to be talking about, obviously do so. I really love them. Look, the 10 that I've chosen for this video, I tend to say this every time I make this, but like you could probably toss up at least the top 5 and any one of them could be number 1. Things to note, there are only 2 fragrances that made my top 10 last time that are in this top 10. So there's 8 new fragrances in the 10 for this video, and only 1 from the top 5 stayed in the top 5, and obviously you will find out what that is. There are also 2 fragrances in my top 10 that I do not own bottles of. I've got samples, decants, and when they run out, obviously they will be right at the top of my bottle to buy list. So without further ado, let's get into the list. At number 10 is a long-time favorite of mine. I bought this pretty much shortly after it was released, and when you look at the level of my bottle, you will see that I will soon need to repurchase a bottle. From Olfactive Studio, it is Woody Mood, wonderful ginger note in the opening. Then it kind of colors the rest of the fragrance as it dries down. Beautiful blend of different woods and this almost, I want to say, unfiltered cocoa note that blends so well into the wood. So there's no sweetness about it, but you can smell it, and it's almost like that cocoa's being ground down into the tree bark of whatever tree I happen to be standing at. So that's Woody Mood from Olfactive Studio at number 10. At number 9 is a fragrance that did make my top 10 last time. It actually ended up in the top 5 in the last video 6 months ago. It's dropped down a little bit, but I will always love this fragrance from L'artisan Parfumeur. This is Séville à l'Aube. Wonderful orange blossom and beeswax and a bit of incense. But the most important thing about this fragrance for me is it never ever fails to make me smile the second it lands on my skin. Even when I was testing when I was smelling these and trying to rank them, every time I picked up the blotter, I just probably unconsciously did that, and that's why I love it so much. So that's Seville L'Aube at number 9. At number 8, another all-time favorite, basically. This has been around for many years now, still in production, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is probably, well, in my opinion, Chanel's greatest masculine marketed fragrance. Egoist from 1990. I don't know if it is that this particular fragrance is just getting better with age. I'm talking about my specific bottle because I've always liked Egoist, and this bottle is a 2016 bottle. I purchased it in 2017, and it seems like every time I spray it on, it just smells better and it keeps improving with age. So I don't know if there's anything to do to it, or whether it's all psychological, but Egoist is a marvel. At number 8. At number 7, I think this is the first time this has made my top 10, although I haven't had this fragrance as long as some of the other ones here. And this one really, really crept up on me. I mean, I liked it from the beginning, but I never imagined that I would end up loving it as much as I do. It's from Gucci, and this is Memoir d'une odeur, and probably is going to be, from this list, the most, I guess, divisive, that people might be watching this and there'll probably be a lot more people who do not like this particular fragrance. But I think there's a little bit of magic in this bottle, and it is definitely one that if you didn't like from the beginning, that probably deserved more time. And unfortunately, it seems like this is getting, or has been, discontinued, and a lot of people are going to miss out on its magic. At number 6, this is the first fragrance of the ones that I do not own a bottle of, and I'm going to have to rectify that soon, because at the rate that Guerlain is discontinuing the fragrances from this particular line, I'll have to hurry. But I don't have much left of my sample. This is my sample of Angélique Noir. And what can I say? It is... There is a vanilla fragrance in this list that is ranked, in fact, just ahead of this fragrance. But I don't even think about this as a vanilla. I love this combination of this green opening that sticks around all the way to the dry down, and it basically transforms the vanilla in Angélique Noir, and I've not smelled anything quite like it, and it's captivating, enchanting, and I love wearing it for the duration of the 6 or 7 hours that I can smell it on my skin. So this will probably be, this is most likely going to be my first fragrance from the L'Art de la Matière line. Okay, we're into the top 5, and the vanilla I spoke of, there could only be one if you've watched my videos for long enough. Eau de Bois from L'Occitane. Now, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. There is always going to be a little bit of recency bias when I'm choosing this top 10, because I know for a fact that I've worn most of these quite recently in the last few months, and not long ago, winter's over here, but I definitely wore the hell out of this during the colder months, and again, it's one of those ones I loved from the beginning, and my love never wanes for Eau de Bois from L'Occitane. At number 4, I think this is the first time it's made the top 5, and I'm kind of surprised by that, frankly, because this is one I also loved from the very first sniff, and I consider myself so lucky to have this beautiful, big, wonderful bottle of Eau Noir from Christian Dior, from the Privé line. This is from this was released in 2004. It's now been re-released. Smells kind of similar, different color, but this is the one I love, and I'm so grateful to have this bottle in my wardrobe. At number 3, another one. This is the last one of the fragrances that I do not currently own, and unfortunately my tastes are getting quite expensive. Like the Angelique Noir, this is going to be an expensive purchase for me unless I can find a partial bottle. This is from Celine. I've just recently done a review of it. It's my little sample of night clubbing. And what can I say? It's obviously my favorite iris-based fragrance, but it's a lot more than just being an iris fragrance. And I never expected this one. I never expected to fall in love with as much as I have. I had sampled it quite some time ago, and I liked it back then. But I think I was just convincing myself that iris fragrances were not for me. And there was obviously more to it than that particular note. And this is the standout from Celine fragrances for mine anyway. And it's ranking at number 3 in this current video. So I just love night clubbing. Now, the top 2 fragrances both actually come from the same house. And honestly, this could have been a toss-up as to who would have been number 1. At number 2 is Eau d'Hermes from Hermes. Look, again, this started off as someone had sent me a sample. I fell in love with that fragrance, finished my 20 ml sample, and then immediately purchased a bottle, and I have no regrets, and I'm more than happy with this current formulation. Hopefully, Hermes does not do to this particular fragrance what it's done to my number 1 fragrance. And this made my top 5 last time, and it's finally, I think this is the first time I've ranked it at number 1. Like Egoist, this to me just gets better and better and better with every wear that I have. But sadly, it looks like it is disappearing from Hermes websites, or has disappeared, and is it getting increasingly difficult to find. Equipage Geranium is my number 1 fragrance. For my second top 10 of 2024, always love this fragrance. Love at first sight fragrance. Very, very grateful that I have a bottle and still have quite a bit of it left, but just a wonderful, wonderful fragrance. Fragrances don't need to be complex or amazing compositions or even smell completely unique to make the top 10. They have to make me feel a certain way. And I've mentioned that this exercise in choosing a top 10 is really interesting for me because it's a snapshot of what my tastes are at that particular moment in time. That's why I do it every 6 months, because I know if I did this once a year, that even over those 12 months, so much can change. And as proven by this video and the fact that only 2 survived from my last top 10. So I'm going to celebrate Equipage Geranium at number 1 for this video. I hope you enjoyed this version, this edition of my favorite top 10 fragrances. And I'll see you soon in the next video, and we'll see what happens in 6 months' time. Thanks for watching. Bye.